1942-1943 is often considered the turning point of World War II, and that's largely because of the new combatants who enter by 1941. So, thanks to Germany and Japan's moves, now Great Britain has developed allies both in the Soviet Union and the United States. And those allies decide that instead of fighting a two-front war, they need to focus in one area first. And so the defeat of Germany becomes the first priority. The United States enters first by sending military aid in the form of weapons and monies to Russia and Britain. And despite the fact that there are huge anti-communist ideals in places like Britain and the United States, there's a recognition that defeat of Germany trumps those small differences, or rather large differences. And so allies ignore those political differences and decide that appeasement has only gone so far. Now the only result of World War II can be an unconditional surrender, first by Germany and then secondly by Japan. Despite this, Germany is relatively successful early on. They control much of North Africa through their use of panzers or tanks, a fantastic German general by the name of Rommel there. Soviet Union seems to start having problems of its own, both supplying troops and feeding them. But starting in 1942 and into 1943, British and American tank divisions are successful against Rommel and his panzers in North Africa in what is a long, drawn-out 8-month, 9-month, 10-month conflict. You do the math, November to February. The Battle of Stalingrad, if you've ever seen the movie Enemy at the Gates, it takes place in this kind of context. Massive battle in what will eventually result in a huge Allied victory in Russia's backyard, pretty much. Over the course of that time period, 850,000 casualties from the Germans. The Soviets, 1.2 million throughout the context of that single months-long battle. But the Germans are being depleted. Their resources are being limited. In Asia, several battles, largely won by U.S. troops, but supported by Brits and also by Australian troops. The Battle of the Coral Sea and then eventually the Battle of Midway give the Allies hope in the Pacific as well.